What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about one from Kino Lorber, and it is The Good Bad Man. So this is a Western from 1916 that stars Douglas Fairbanks as a character named Passin' Through. And although he is definitely like kind of a criminal slash outlaw, he's not a violent criminal. He's not in it for himself. He's not a selfish criminal, as strange as that sounds. He actually carries a pretty deep burden because he didn't know who his father was, and that really has had a deep impact on him. So a lot of the times whenever he liberates supplies or resources or whatever, he passes them along to children who are in a similar situation to what he found himself. So there is like a benevolent side to what he's doing, but at the same time he is breaking the law, so he has to kind of move from town to town, to keep ahead and keep himself, out of jail. When he arrives at a new town, he just intends on doing what he's always done. However, he runs into trouble not only from local law enforcement, but also from a local crime boss who doesn't appreciate another criminal being on the turf. He also meets a woman and kind of, gets drawn into a romance. So he's just got a lot of stuff going on, and that's the premise here of The Good Bad Man. This thing runs under an hour, so there's a lot, there's a lot going on. No time is wasted. There's very little filler, but at the same time, there's plenty of time taken to develop the characters, especially of Passin' Through and Bessie Love's character. So it's not like it's rushed at all either. I really like this one. It's amazing to me that this movie was made in 1916, and we're able to watch it over 100 years later. That in and of itself is almost like a miracle to me. Like, it's all movies are kind of a window into a certain point in history, but like this is just amazing that you can watch something from 1916. The movie itself is pretty fun. I think it's a Western, but it's a very I don't know, I was going to say it's a light Western, but that's not necessarily true consistently. It does deal with some serious tones, but it also just has kind of also some light, playful moments. I think the romance here is the main draw. Douglas Fairbanks and Bessie Love have really good chemistry. I feel like that's really fleshed out pretty well given the amount of time that they have and the fact that it is a silent film. I think they do a pretty good job, though, of building up that romance. Also, I think people are going to love the action scenes in this. Maybe when you think about action scenes from 1916, you might think they're a little bit antiquated, and to an extent they are, but it's really impressive what they were able to pull off here, and I mean, I thought it was really impressive. As far as Western fans, there's pretty much the basics here of what you would want from a Western. It's not so much action driven as it is kind of romance and drama driven, but there is a good amount of action here as well. So I really feel like whether you're here for the romance, whether you're here for the Western trappings, or whether you're just here because it's amazing the movie from 1916 still exists, I think it's worth a look. Douglas Fairbanks obviously is a great performer, even though I think this is a very first Western that he made. I could be wrong though. He shows a lot of screen presence here. Definitely, one of the big draws. I think a lot of people are going to come to this because of his presence. But Bessie Love is also really good here as well, and the supporting cast is pretty good as well. So I think there's a lot here to offer with The Good Bad Man, and it's available on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. If you're going to search for this on Amazon or anything, I would try to search out the other movie, The Half-Breed. That's actually considered to be the main movie of the set, and I'll have a separate review for that later on. So if you're looking it up, look for The Half-Breed. It does include that movie as well, which in HD, obviously, and it's also from 1916. And then it's also got some nice extras that helps contextualize, these movies, which includes a featurette on the restoration of The Half-Breed, audio commentary tracks on both. It's also got new soundtracks for each one of them and a photo gallery. So there's some decent stuff here, and also just having a double feature of solid movies from 1916 is amazing, at least in my opinion. And there's also detailed notes before each movie about the conditions of the materials, how these versions were put together, the restoration process. So it's really cool. Like, this is like a film buff's dream, if you're interested in these kind of movies. This is a really great release. So, like I said, whether you're a Western fan, whether you're just a fan of classic cinema, of silent film, or you just want to learn more about the early days of movies, I think The Good Bad Man / The Half-Breed, and again, I'll have a dedicated review up for The Half-Breed at some point. This is a really good disc, and definitely one that I can recommend. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a good movie. It's amazing to me that it still exists. And I'm really glad that it's, this is also a 2K restoration, by the way, using the best available materials from several sources. It does look a little bit rough, but it's from 1916. Most of the scenes actually look pretty clear and clean with minimal print damage, but there are some scenes that are actually pretty rough. But that's going to happen when you're pulling from very rare archival materials that come from varied sources and haven't exactly been super cared for over the years. You know, that's going to happen. But I think overall this is far better than I ever expected the movies, this movie to look, and I was really impressed with it. So that's my review of The Good Bad Man. You can read a full write-up of it at markfusion.com. You can also read the write-up of tons of other Kino Lorber classics, other silent films, classic movies of all kinds of stuff there. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at Mark Fusion. Also at Letterboxd at Mark Fusion. I diary what I'm watching there. You can see what might be coming up here soon. But the best way you can help me out is always just to hit that sub button. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me. Help me to continue making these videos and getting locked up and forgetting what I want to say 90% of the time. So I do appreciate that follow, or that sub, whatever they call them on here. Another way to help me out is to watch the older videos. It might not seem like a big deal, but it actually is a huge deal. So if there's something that catches your eye in the playlist, make sure you check that out. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry it ran a little bit long, but my mind completely locked up a few times there. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.